When your cat suddenly meows at nothing, it may not be asking for food at all, but trying to point your attention somewhere important. Many owners hear noise, but cats often use their voice like an alarm system whenever something inside their body or home stops feeling safe. A short, rapid meow usually means your cat has noticed a change first and wants you to look before that uncertainty grows. It could be a strange sound, a moving shadow, a door left open, or an unfamiliar smell that instantly disturbs the room's normal pattern. Cats trust routine more than people realize, so even a tiny change can feel big enough to deserve a quick vocal warning. That is why some meows sound less like requests, more like notifications. Brief signals saying something here no longer feels completely normal. And if your cat keeps repeating those short sounds while staring elsewhere, the message is usually not me. But look at that now. The voice pulls you toward the environment because your cat cannot inspect every possible threat alone, while also protecting its own body. Sometimes the unusual thing is small, like a flying insect. But the emotional logic is still serious because surprise activates caution first. Your cat is not overreacting in that moment. It is broadcasting that something unexpected entered its map, and unexpected things deserve attention. A low growl or hiss is a very different message, because now the problem feels close enough to require distance, not curiosity. Those harsher sounds appear when your cat believes a boundary is being crossed, whether by a stranger, another animal, or pressure it cannot escape. The goal is not conversation anymore, it is protection. A clear statement that says, "Stop moving closer because I do not feel safe." Growling and hissing often come before swatting because vocal warning is your cat's last polite chance to solve danger without direct contact. When owners punish those sounds, cats do not become calmer. They simply learn that honest warning fails. So next time, they may skip straight ahead. Listening to the warning matters because a hiss is fear with edges, not bad attitude. And fear ignored often turns sharper fast. Longer drawn-out meows usually carry a heavier emotional load, especially when the tone sounds unfamiliar, strained, or deeper than your cat's normal voice. That kind of sound can appear during pain, nausea, panic, discomfort, or intense stress, because the body itself is now part of the problem. And what makes owners miss it is familiarity, since they hear meows every day and forget that distress can hide inside the same category. The difference is usually in rhythm, depth, repetition, and context, because pain sounds less purposeful than alert meowing and more impossible to settle. If your cat vocalizes strangely while moving stiffly, hiding more, avoiding touch, or staring blankly, the sound deserves medical attention, not delay. Cats evolved to conceal weakness, so obvious distress noise often means the discomfort has already become stronger than their instinct to stay quiet. That is why a weird, prolonged cry can be emotionally alarming, because it may represent the moment your cat can no longer manage alone. Nighttime yowling creates even more confusion, since many owners assume drama, while the cat may actually be feeling lost, lonely, restless, or disoriented. In older cats, loud cries at night can sometimes reflect cognitive change, where darkness and silence make familiar spaces suddenly feel uncertain. In younger cats, the same behavior may come from pent-up energy, unmet reassurance needs, or stress that finally spills out when the house quiets. What matters most is the pattern around the cry, because the voice alone rarely tells the full story without body language and timing. Is your cat pacing, searching, staring at doors, clinging to you, or seeming unable to settle despite nothing obvious changing in the room? Those details turn nighttime noise from annoyance into information, showing whether your cat needs enrichment, comfort, routine support, or a health check. A sudden increase in any kind of meowing often signals that something in the environment or body has shifted beyond your cat's comfort. Maybe a new smell entered the home, another animal appeared outside, furniture moved, visitors arrived, or your own schedule became emotionally unpredictable. Cats read stability through repetition, so when daily cues change, Vocalization can increase because your cat is trying to restore a sense of order. Sometimes the trigger is invisible to you, like a faint chemical scent, a neighboring cat outside, or discomfort building quietly inside the body. That is why the smartest question is not, "Why are you noisy?" but what changed before this behavior started showing up more. When cats meow at doors, windows, or empty corners, owners often assume confusion, yet the sound usually follows a specific sensory clue. They may hear footsteps outside, smell another animal lingering nearby, or notice movement you missed, so the meow becomes shared vigilance instantly. Your cat is effectively saying, "I noticed something first, and I need you to register it too, because this territory belongs to us." This is one reason meowing can feel strangely directed, because many cats reserve their more deliberate vocal signals for human communication specifically. Adult cats do not meow to each other that much in stable settings, so when they meow at you, intent matters deeply. They learned your attention can change outcomes, so their voice becomes a bridge between instinctive alertness and the human help they depend on. That dependence is emotional too, because your cat may call not only about danger, but about uncertainty it cannot regulate alone yet. A cat that meows until you arrive is often seeking co-regulation, using your presence as proof that the situation is manageable. The sound stops not because the mystery vanished, but because your cat now feels less alone with it, and therefore less vulnerable. This is especially clear when your cat meows, leads you somewhere, then waits, almost as if escorting your attention toward the problem. The destination might be a window, a hallway, a litter box, a closed room, or simply the place where discomfort feels strongest. Leading behavior matters because cats rarely spend extra energy explaining unless they believe you can help resolve what unsettles them right now. If the meow happens near food but feels sharp or restless, the message may still be emotional, not simple hunger at all. Some cats go to familiar resource spots when upset because bowls, routines, and feeding areas are linked to comfort even when food isn't needed. Owners often answer every meow with snacks, which can hide the real issue when the cat actually needed reassurance, investigation, or relief. Understanding the sound means reading the whole moment, including body posture, ear position, tail tension, pacing, gaze direction, and recent changes nearby. A short meow with bright alert eyes is not the same as a low cry from a crouched body hiding under furniture. One asks for shared attention, the other may signal pain, fear, or overwhelm, and your response should change with that difference immediately. When the same unusual call repeats without clear cause, think of accumulation. Because stress often builds quietly before the voice finally exposes it. Maybe the litter box location feels unsafe now. The new appliance hum is irritating, or repeated disruptions have made rest impossible lately. Cats rarely explain stress in one dramatic moment. They usually leak it through small signals first, and vocal change is one too. That makes paying attention early so powerful, because the sooner you read the warning, the less likely your cat reaches full overload. Even silence can be part of the message, since some cats become unusually quiet after repeated failed attempts to communicate discomfort clearly. A cat that once warned loudly, but now withdraws may not be healed. It may have learned that calling changes nothing. That possibility is heartbreaking because many owners fear excessive meowing, while the deeper danger is a cat giving up on being understood. Healthy communication is not about making your cat quiet. It is about helping the reason behind the sound feel safer or solved. Sometimes the best response is simply to pause, follow the gaze, and let your cat show you what triggered the call today. Sometimes the right response is space, because a hissed warning means comfort begins with distance, slower movement, and less pressure from you. And sometimes the right response is a veterinary visit, especially when the voice changes sharply alongside appetite, movement, grooming, or litter habits. Your cat does not need you to decode every sound perfectly. but it does need you to notice when normal becomes unusual. Consistency helps because once you learn your cat's usual vocal map, just so the abnormal sounds stand out faster and feel easier to interpret. That map includes volume, timing, tone, repetition, body posture, favorite locations, and what usually makes the sound stop in each context best. The more familiar you become with that pattern, the less likely you are to dismiss an important cry as random noise again, and the less likely your cat is to escalate, because feeling heard often lowers urgency before stress has to become bigger outwardly. Cats are not being dramatic when their sounds change. They are often moving up through levels of concern the only way they can. A small meow may mean notice this. A harsher sound may mean back off. And a strange cry may mean help now. Different voices carry different urgency, but they all come from the same truth that something inside or around the cat feels wrong. Your role is not to silence that alarm, but to understand what activated it and help your cat return to safety again. When you answer the message instead of judging the noise, trust grows, because your cat learns that speaking to you is worthwhile. The trust can reduce future stress, since animals settle faster when previous warnings were met with protection instead of frustration or dismissal. In that way, listening to meowing is not only about translation, it is about building a safer emotional home together for both. Your cat may never use human language, but it keeps offering patterns, tones, and timing that reveal where comfort breaks down first. The loudest sound is not always the most urgent one, because sometimes a quiet, strange change is the earliest real warning sign. That is why comparing today's voice to your cat's normal baseline matters more than comparing it to another cat online for guidance. Every cat has a personal dictionary, but unusual intensity, unfamiliar tone, and sudden frequency are warning signs across many situations for owners. If you notice those shifts, take them seriously even before you understand them fully, because early care is better than late certainty. Some warnings point outward to the room, while others point inward to the body. And your job is noticing which direction fits.
Meow.
Look at where your cat stares, where it walks, what it avoids, and what changed in the hours before the meowing started. Look at whether touch comforts it, irritates it, or makes the voice stronger, because that reaction can separate fear from pain quickly. Look at whether your presence settles the sound, because needing you nearby may mean the message is shared alarm, not just isolation. When you start hearing meows as messages instead of background noise, your cat's behavior becomes less mysterious and far more compassionate suddenly. The sounds stop being random drama and start revealing a small animal constantly trying to manage safety, discomfort, territory, and attachment daily. And sometimes the bravest thing your cat does all day is keep calling, even after several earlier signals were overlooked by everyone. So the frightening part is not that a cat meows too much, but that it may have been warning for longer unheard. Each unusual sound is a chance to notice sooner, respond more gently, and protect better before confusion hardens into lasting fear or pain. Cats do not meow without meaning, and when they raise their voice, something in their world is asking not to be ignored.